Okay.
You ready to jump in and
yeah.
tread water?
Yeah, man, let's do it.
Just jump in and swim.
Let's go. There you go.
I think you need to say clearly what happened.
Who gives a fuck?
I don't care if he personally kicked Candace Owens and her stanky
Cray cray.
No good thing starts with, I was thinking about my ex.
He ain't learned his lesson. That's a brother ain't gonna learn shit.
I know this is gonna be unpopular, and I don't care.
Let's keep this shit funky.
What's happening? What's crackulating? What's popping? Welcome to another episode of the Unpopular Opinion Show, or Unpopin Show. I think we're gonna have to just go with Unpopin Show because there's quite a few unpopular opinions out there. But ours is the best. I'll say it.
There's one out of the UK, and I want to say it's like BBC. It's associated with the BBC that they come up consistently in the ranking. But thanks to our new subscribers, our old subscribers, people are commenting and watching the video, liking and subscribing to do all that. Continue to do that. We are actually starting to come up in the ranking. So when you search Unpopular Opinion Show, we're popping up, and it's a good look.
Yeah. Or just go with Unpoppin Show if you haven't. And I'll say this early now. If you're just watching this now for the first time, if you haven't subscribed, please do. Go to our website, unpopinshow.com, and all of our links are there on the website. You can subscribe and follow the rabbit hole of all the nonsense we've talked over the past months or so.
You know, we're coming up on a year.
Is it?
Yep. Our first show was June 20th, 2020. So we're approaching 1 year.
That's what's up. We stuck to it. We still here.
We haven't been canceled or shamed out of existence yet.
Not yet. Although, speaking of shame, I do want to take this time to thank a watcher, a listener, someone who checked out our content and found it fit to comment. And so trust me when I say, honestly, we thank everyone for commenting when you come on and comment.
Let's not say the person's name because they didn't subscribe, so they may not want to be put on blast. But we can, I guess, talk about the comment. Let's not read it verbatim or whatever, because I don't want to blast them out there like that, since they didn't subscribe and join the community. But it was interesting for sure.
But if you subscribing or not, if you comment, we gonna see it.
Fair point.
And other people can see it too.
Fair point.
It's not a secret. They didn't DM us.
You know what? You're right. Fair point. Proceed.
Okay. All right. I'm looking. Here it is. All right, let's go. I'm going with. I have to. My new internet is not as desirable as I would like it to be, but you know what? I'm gonna go with it. All right. There it goes. There we're down. No, where's she at? Ha! Here it is. So you don't want me to read the person's name?
No, I mean it is public, but let's try to at least be a little decent.
Okay, fine. I'm fine. This person, WS, I'll just say the initials, commented on the video, episode 32. And the caption on the video is drugs, threesomes, and assault charges, T.I. and Tiny on the Cosby-ish. If you've seen that, at some point we were talking about Dr. Dre and the what is it? What do we call it? The young and the loveless.
Yes.
It's epic saga that Dre and his soon-to-be ex-wife are going through. But in any case, this person commented and said, "How can you call a wife and a mother who put up with his or any man's sorry ass for 21 years a gold digger? And you laugh at the fact that he bought his side woman properties, etc. You guys are cray-cray. And you can feel sorry for Dre all you want because it's your energy you're wasting. Thank you.
I'm not going to lie, right? Like, so one of the things that I've learned over this almost year is you've got to have a thick skin to do this, right? So, and I did radio for years, and you got to have a thick skin to do radio, right? So I had forgotten what it was like to have dissenters. So when I first read the comment, I was like, oh my God, no, this motherfucker didn't. But then it quickly went from that to, I'm so flattered, right? I was like,
yes.
I was like, I'm flattered that you would, take the time to post your dissenting opinion and whether you don't have to agree with us, but I appreciate your time.
Yeah. I mean, she took time to write a paragraph. He or she took time to write a paragraph. I believe it's a she.
I do too.
Because it sounds like a woman's point of view. Listen. I don't recall. I'm not gonna say we didn't say it, but I don't recall calling Miss Nicole Young a gold digger.
We did not call her a gold digger, but in fairness, from the commentary, one could assume that's what we thought. That is not what I think.
I don't think she's a gold digger at all. I pointed out that in the movie Straight Outta Compton, in the script that was approved by all and made it to theaters, the character, what's the lawyer? I keep forgetting his
Jerry
name.
Heller.
Jerry Heller, the character who played, the character in the movie, said about Dre's wife that she was opportunistic or something along them lines. In the movie, and this was taking place back in the 80s or whatever case, whenever they got married or whatever case, but that's in the script. That's what that was said. He said that, and they approved that and put it in. So to kind of look at it, fast forward, it's like, maybe he saw something that no one else did see. But whatever. I don't think she's a gold digger. I think she's angry. I think she's really, really angry.
And
rightfully so that, he dipped his chocolate in another peanut butter and bought it a house.
Allegedly bought it a house. It's the facts we know.
Allegedly.
$2.15 million spent on some other person that was not Nicole Young. That's all we really know.
Right.
We don't. It's alleged that it was a house or an apartment or something or whatever. And to that point, T, in that video, if you go back and look at it, I start to kind of change my opinion, right? Because before we didn't have the facts that he was dipping his chocolate. Now we got the facts that he's dipping his chocolate.
Right.
My opinion on it is starting to turn a little bit. It's like, okay, she has grounds to be angry at this point, whereas information we didn't have before.
Yeah. Well, in any case, WS, thank you for your comment. Thank you for taking the time to talk at us.
And
come back.
And please, dislike. If you don't like it, hit the dislike button.
Yes.
I love it. I love it all. But look, while we're in it, you want to continue to talk about Dre since we're here?
Actually, if we could circle back around to Dre.
Okay.
Because over the weekend and over the week, so it's been a couple of weeks since we actually recorded this in real time. But this weekend on Friday, which would have been it's kind of hard doing things in backwards. April 9th. Unfortunately, DMX passed away.
Yeah.
And so a lot of heartfelt tributes and from fans and friends and people in the industry, people that just knew him. My condolences to his family, and what they're dealing with, for their loss. But I can say, I was a fan of DMX. I found him to be a bit awkward because I didn't understand, initially I didn't understand all the religious talk and the imagery, some of the imagery around him that I'm sure he probably didn't have anything to do with, but the imagery around it sometimes seemed a little satanic with the blood and all the different things that, you know what I mean? But as I got to like listening through his lyrics and listening through some of his prayers that he's put on his albums and actually paying attention to some of the things he says, I'm a Christian. I'll put that out there. I am a Christian. And so listening to what, you know, he's said on record and in interviews and everything else, I believe he also was a Christian and was also had given his life to serve Christ. And in that, in his death, I believe that he has achieved going to meet his maker and to, you know, to go to heaven is what we believe as Christians. So while it's sad, while we all sad that, you know, he passed away at just 50 years old, I believe he served his purpose here. He served his time here. And you know, we all, you know, no one's perfect. He had his struggles. He had his you know, his imperfections and demons, and was battling addiction, which is part of what ultimately took him out. But that didn't. I don't think that takes away from what where his heart was and what his beliefs were. So,
yeah,
that's, you know,
so just kind of from a factual standpoint, he I think he initially was Jehovah's Witness, which, you know, he had some issues with his mom and his family with that situation, and he walked away from it, from religion and everything for a while, and eventually came back. And I think he was working on becoming, he wanted to be like a minister, working on being an ordained, ordained in the church. He was really kind of moving his life in that direction. Like you said, he did struggle with some stuff, obviously drug addiction, bipolar disorder. I think he self-diagnosed that. I don't know if a doctor confirmed that. Multiple arrests over his time, which, you know, I would say probably stems from troubled upbringing, mental health issues, drug and alcohol issues. I met him once. This was it's back in the hot days, actually, when we were working together. I can't remember which birthday bash it was, but he was performing. It was right after the first album had gotten released. I think that album had been out maybe a month. Like it wasn't a whole lot of time. It's like 98, I think it was. And I remember like the reps for the company, I had gotten to the show late. The reps from the company took me back to meet him, but he was getting ready to go on. And he was, how do I say this kindly? He was kind of in his own headspace. So they introduced me to him, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna let him stay in his headspace. Like, I'm just gonna keep it moving. But I'll never forget. He went on a little bit later that evening. It was at one of the amphitheaters. What is it, Lakewood? I think we were at, and it was dark. Mm-hmm. And I was on stage, backstage. He was on stage, like, and had just come up, and the lights kind of did the thing as he was performing, and it whipped over the crowd, and you just saw all of these people just going and knew all of the lyrics to all of the songs. And I'm like, how is that possible? This album has only been out for a short amount of time. But it was in that moment where I was like, okay, this dude, he's something different. He's something different. It was just mind blowing. I never saw anything like it up until that moment. I've never seen anything like it afterwards. And I've seen a lot of people. I've been to a lot of shows or whatever. But he dropped that album in what, 98? What is it? It's Dark and Hell is Hot. Right. The first one. Then he dropped his second one in 98. He dropped his third one in 99. I think the fourth one was in 2000. And the fifth one was right behind that in like 01, 02 or something like that. But all 5 of those records debuted at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. All 5, back to back. Yeah. Michael Jackson hasn't done that. Tupac hasn't done that. Biggie hasn't done that. Elvis hasn't done that. Marvin Gaye hasn't done that. Patti LaBelle, Mary J. Blige. You pick a name. No one has done that but him.
Right. Yeah.
Cheers.
And the way, I mean, to put albums back to back in the same year. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, that's something else.
Cheers to that, brother.
Yeah, man.
And condolences to you know.
Shout out to
family.
my cousin. I did a tribute for him on Friday. I put a mix together and put it up on my site. If you want it, you can check it out on therealtstorm.com. But as I was putting it together, I remembered my cousin Nikki, who's down in Atlanta. I remember she was the biggest DMX fan I knew when she was in high school. I mean, she was, oh my God, she was all about DMX. Every album, every song, album cuts, everything. And I was like, that's the, so when I think DMX, I think my cousin Nikki, because she was all about it, right? And then so I posted up and she reposted the tribute, and I let her know that I had her on my mind when I was doing it, because she was the biggest tangible fan I knew. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah. I got to meet him once when I was working with Steve Harvey. He came up to the studios there, and he was cool. He was cool, laid back dude. Still, the gruff, and the voice, and like this. That was him. You know what I mean? Shout out to Swiss Beats. He put up a tribute. I'll play a little bit of what he put on his Instagram.
First and foremost, I want to say thank you for all the prayers and the blessings for my brother, the great DMX. Let me tell you something, man. My brother was a different type of brother. Different type of artist, different type of creative, different type of spirit, different type of zone, different type of soul. Since the day that I met him, he lived his life for everyone else. I never seen him live his life for himself. You ain't never seen DMX with a Lamborghini. You ain't never seen my brother with a Rolls Royce. You ain't never seen him iced out with no jewelry. He did not care about any of that. He was the biggest. DMX was the biggest. And let me tell you why he was the biggest. He was the biggest because he prayed for everybody else more than he did for himself. He'd get on that stage and pray for 50,000 people, knowing that he needed more prayers than everybody that he was praying for.
Yeah, that's just a little portion. It's pretty lengthy, but goes without saying, Swiss and X were close.
Yeah.
And I seen, interviews of Swiss talking about how generous DMX was. I saw an interview where he talked about he went to go, I think he picked him up when he was in in rehab, and they went to some diner, and before they left the diner or whatever, he's like, he told Swiss, he said, God told me to pay for everybody's food in here. And Swiss was like, God told you that? Right? And he did, and he paid for everybody's food in that restaurant. That's he didn't know none of them, but that's special dude. And he's right. Like, I think about it, I never seen him with jewelry. No type of jewelry, flashy cars, and nothing. Not even at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the Rough Riders thing he wore for a minute back when they were kind of establishing and doing their thing, but other than that, nah. I mean, he wasn't that dude. And you think about it. No. You watched him in videos and seeing him in interviews and all of that all those years. You probably never thought about the fact you didn't see him in a bunch of jewels, but everybody else was dripping. I
never thought about it. Yeah.
Anyway, I'll say this, and not to belabor the point, but I'll say this and then we can move on. But people talk about their top fives. Greatest MCs of all time, that kind of thing. I've never heard him in anybody's top 5. And I think that might be because people, they don't know really what his record sales and stuff were. They just know like his club impact or his music impact or his impact on radio. And they're thinking about lyricism. And I've been toying with the idea of putting together a definitive top 5. You know, how do you do that? But breaking it down into categories and then ranking, giving points in different categories and then total points being like the top 5. But in that vein, or why I even mention that, I think the thing that people miss a lot of times when they talk about top 5 is emoting. There have been 2 who've emoted like no one else has ever done. And it was DMX and Tupac. It was just something about like verbal wordplay wasn't the best. Lyrical dexterity wasn't the best. But when they said words on a microphone, you felt every single word that they were saying. And that's a difficult thing to pull off, but they did it. So as when I get to the point where I develop my definitive top 5, maybe we'll do a show on it or something, but you know, that'll be a category, emoting. And those 2 will be numbers 1 and 2 in that category.
Speaking of top 5, I think we can definitely end on a lighter note. DMX's cameo in Chris Rock's movie Top 5 has to be some of the best. Oh, you freaking! I hate commercials that pop up when. Okay, skip. There you go.
Pre-roll video.
No, not that. Here we go. So
I thought I was at bottom.
So
I was
Chris Rock
like,
goes to
this
jail
is it. I have fucked up everything.
and looks
And
across
at that
to the
moment,
cell and sees
I heard
DMX.
this crazy sound. Wow, DMX. What are you doing here?
Really? What am I doing here? I'm X, man. I live in this motherfucker, man. Don't you watch the news? Damn, homie. I respect the fuck out of your shit, man. Uprise? I'm gonna see that as soon as I get out, man.
Yo, man, thanks a lot, man. I'm a big fan of yours, too.
One thing I really respect about you, why I fuck with you for real, son, is that you won't let the industry box you in. I'm pretty much on some same shit, yo. I'm kinda tired of rapping, man. Plus, I got so much more to offer.
That's what I always say, man. I got so much more to offer.
You got a minute?
Yeah.
Check this out. Smile though your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. Smile through the pain and sorrow. What? Smile and maybe tomorrow you see the sun come shining through for you. I'm expressing myself over here, nigga. Light up your face with gladness.
Yeah, that's dope.
I'm expressing myself over here, nigga. Rest in peace to DMX.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. For sure.
Oh, man. Okay, moving on.
Moving on. So I have on this show, I have been rather critical of one Mr. Tyler Perry. And I have also come out and said, I just don't really enjoy his stuff. I don't really enjoy the Medea stuff. I tried, I can't. It was just announced that Showtime is doing a Medea prequel. I actually want to see it. I want to see it.
I have questions. We all know who Medea actually is. The character is actually portrayed by Tyler Perry himself in, I won't say drag, but dressed as an older woman. Drag, okay. And that's part of the charm and the comedy in it, is because we know that it's Tyler Perry. You get lost in the character a little bit, but we know that it's Tyler Perry. He plays along with the saggy breast in part of the costume, and twerking and jumping around, all the stuff that he does. It's funny. How does a young Mabel, who does that character?
Well, they haven't announced who is actually going to play the character, but they have said it's a drama and not a comedy. So,
excuse me?
Yeah, it's a drama series. It's a drama prequel series. Now, they may inject some comedy into it, but it sounds like it's supposed to be dramatic, which I gotta be honest, dude, that I've been a part of pilot season. I've seen pilots and television shows, and I'll be honest with you, I'm generally disinterested in show pitches, right? Like another cop show, another doctor show, another mismatched neighbor situation comedy, another big dumb man, smart wife situation comedy. I'm just over all of it. When I saw that pitch, I was like, I want to see it, right? It's interesting. It's different. It's new. I hope the writing doesn't get cliche. I hope they explore the character from a serious side and how some different seriousness invokes the comedic display or whatever. I think it's an opportunity to make a really, really good and interesting show, and I want to see it.
Okay. All right. I hear you. I hear you.
Oh boy.
Loud and clear. But I can't get past that the character's played by a dude, and for comedy purposes. And it's kind of like, all right, I'm all for dramas and all that type of stuff. I get it. But I'm just trying to picture how that would work out. So then it would definitely be an actual woman playing the part, because unless part of the character is that Mabel is a cross-dressing person of some sort. I doubt that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see what it looks like, but for the story to be all that what you said, Tyler Perry has to bring on other writers to help write, because famously he bragged that he was the only one writing all of his scripts, all of his TV shows, all of his movies, and that's a marvelous feat. But when you look at the product, you go, yeah, I can tell same person wrote all of this. You get what I'm saying? Like every last, it follows a format, and it's not necessarily great, in my opinion. But there are people that like that like the stuff, right? But I think what brought it, what made it call people's attention to it is whenever that last movie was, when he had the bad wigs, and that was on it was on Netflix. They had super horrible wigs, and he shot it in 3 days or something like that, or whatever. It was weird. And then he was like, yeah, I wrote all these scripts myself. I don't have a writer's room. Like, dude, you need to have a writer's room.
You need to have a writer's room. You can't come up with everything yourself. Yeah. You just can't.
No.
So it brings up an interesting question to you when you say, who's going to play it. I would hope that he would hire a woman to play the character. If he doesn't, right? Does it open the door to say he is telling the story of a black woman, but not having a black woman tell the story, right? Is he co-opting the black female experience, and this is for this show and Medea just in general. Is he co-opting the black female experience in order to create a character and make money, but not allowing a black female the opportunity to play that role? Is he stealing a job from a black woman?
I mean, I would say yes, definitely. But understanding how he's spoken about the Medea character, and that Medea is a combination of family members, women, that he put into one body. I don't think he would do. I don't think he would do that. I don't think he would do that. I'm sure because if he wants it to be authentic, an authentic story, then he'll get an actress to portray the role for a drama. If it was a comedy, then okay, that's anything goes because it's not supposed to be taken that seriously. But if he wants people to take it seriously as a drama, you need a dude. I mean, sorry, it can't be a dude. To do it. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see what happens. We'll definitely see.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens. There were so many stories that we missed out on past weeks. I don't know if we have enough time to cover it all.
We did. We were off for 2 weeks, just for everybody. So congratulations to T. He moved into a new place. So he was down for a minute. I was down for a minute. So we were off for 2 weeks. He's got everything set up.
As you can see in the backgrounds, I'm still piecing it together. Shout out my wife who as I was I put the equipment and stuff together, a couple of hours, before we started shooting this. So it's the technical side in me is I'm disturbed because there's such an echo in the room. The people that are not as technically savvy, that don't really care about all that, like, what are you talking about? It's sound people and film people who know what I'm talking about. So I have to do something about that. But the pictures, and the plaques and stuff, to my left, I have, I forget this character's name. He was, not Darth, is it Darth Maul? Darth Maul, right?
No, that's Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren. Thank you. Oh, bug me out. Kylo Ren from Star Wars. And there'll be more stuff to go on. Fresh paint on the walls. I have to say, the entire house was painted pink. The previous owners had an affinity for pink. The master bedroom was green, so it seemed like an AKA of some sort. But I know AKAs just goes, no, I wouldn't want my whole house to be pink. Why would they do that? It's like Miss Piggy and Kermit had a fight, and Kermit's like, Piggy, you do whatever you want to do with the house. The room is mine. That's my Kermit the Frog impression, y'all.
Another episode of Bad Impressions with Frog here.
Thank you. But in any case, it was horrible. The pink. Shout out to anybody that likes the color pink all in their house. Hey, more power to you.
Your ass.
I couldn't. It was.
You and your family moved into a womb.
I said it looked like a Wendy Williams nightmare. Like the entire house is pink.
Speaking of
shout out to Troy. I'll give him props. Troy Penniman, who came out and painted the entire house, got rid of the pink and painted all the rooms in the house. He did a fantastic job. So shout out to him.
So while we were away, one Miss Rachel Dolezal was back in the news. And let's not spend a whole lot of time on this because we spent a whole lot of time on her before. But Rachel Dolezal is being featured in a documentary about Black beauty.
Hey, listen, not for nothing. She's kind of now, she's kind of living the Black experience. So let her have at it. I think she does more for the cause suffering than going, you know what? I can't do this black shit. I'm gonna go back to being white. I think she stay true to it, stick with it, and, just ride it out.
The name of the project is Subjects of Desire. It's directed by Jennifer Holness, and it's going to premiere at South by Southwest this year. I'm tripping over my tongue today. It says in the documentary, Rachel will discuss how she's afraid of white men and has been obligated to fit the, quote, white mold.
She's been obligated to fit the white mold. Mm-hmm. What the hell does that even mean? You've been passing as a black woman for the past. What the hell does that mean, Rachel?
You're not being obligated to fit the white mold. As a light-skinned, you're white black, and you're in the mold. It just kind of is what it is.
Okay. Yeah.
But let me read on so we can move on from this. Just I wanted to talk about this story just, to follow up on Rachel and the ridiculousness of it. Quote, It wasn't a commercial thought. It wasn't like I thought if I put her in it, it'll be controversial. No, not at all. I'm doing a film on black women and beauty, and this is the first time that I've come across a white woman pretending to be black for 10 years when there wasn't a massive financial benefit. That is from the director, one Miss Jennifer Holness. Because obviously people are going to say you're putting her in there for shock value and for people to watch your film. Which I hear her explanation, but I still think you're putting her in there for shock value and for people to want to watch your film. Both things can exist simultaneously.
Listen, again, she got to stick with it. Because black folks, we can't go, hey, I'm tired of being black. So if you're choosing to be black, that is, stick with it. Ride it out to the end.
Well,
that's all I got to say about that.
To that point, in the documentary, here's a quote from one Miss Rachel Dolezal. I would say since then, I've had just shaming and ridicule. I've been called an insult to white women and an insult to black women. White women are angry because I did what they never would do and went further, like I put 110. I didn't just be that white ally and do a little bit. I canceled my white privilege. I canceled my hair. For black women, I feel like it's a reaction to pain. It's like a trigger to post-traumatic stress. She continues. When it comes to white men, that's the group that I am the most scared of on a level of threat because that's mostly the white supremacy folks. So she's going to take all white men and make them white supremacists. I know she didn't say all. Let's not be the all police here. But she spoke on white men as a group and likened white men as a group to white supremacists. I think that's a bit of an overreach.
Well, to her point, how many black white supremacists do you know?
Fair enough. But there are black supremacists. And to say all black people are, I'm afraid of all black people or black men as a group because all black supremacists are men, right? Like that's a bit of an overreach. You're taking a small percentage of a large population and conflating that small percentage to the entire population.
I can't believe I'm defending her, but
I'm tricky that way, T.
I can't believe I'm actually doing this. You got me on this one. I don't think she was implying all. The reality of it is, if you run into a group of white dudes, depending on where you are, you could run into a white supremacist within that group, right? I don't think it's the majority. I don't think it's, a high number.
Not at all.
You know what I mean? It's high enough. It's high enough to notice, and it's high enough to be a problem. Because to what you said about black supremacists, while they exist, or black extremists, to call it that, it's not a real thing or threat. You know, there's no American power behind black supremacy. You get what I'm saying? There is a whole structure protecting white supremacy. Laws, everything. You get what I'm saying? It can be argued. American laws and just the construct of America was an experiment for white supremacy. And so the issue, you know, even with people now realizing, you know, I'm losing myself here. Even with folks that, you know, they say, I'm not racist, you don't realize stuff that you're doing or saying is based in white supremacy because it's been going on for so long. That doesn't exist for black folks.
Gotcha.
That's all I'm saying. So
I'm
to her point, you know, she's, you know, not saying all white dudes are white supremacists, but if, you know, you run into enough, you will meet a white supremacist. I guess that's, I don't know. I will leave it up there.
It's the perception of inequitable power distribution within the framework that would make one more dangerous than the other when comparing a group of white extremists versus a group of black extremists. To her point, though, that's not what she said. What she said was, when it comes to white men, that's the group that I am the most scared of on a level of threat, because that's mostly the white supremacy folks. So she really is, by her statement, conflating white men as a group with white supremacy folks, which are there white supremacists? Yeah. Again, with inequity of power, when you look at men versus women, men, generally speaking, are bigger, stronger, and therefore capable of inflicting more violence or more significant violence, more significant damage. So, yeah, I can stretch that far. But to do that, and then, you know, what rubs me the wrong way is it's a white woman saying it. Right? A white woman pretending to be black saying it. It's like, are you doing this to score more points with the group you're trying to be like? Or are you genuine? Do you really mean it?
I think she really means it. At this point, she has nothing to gain.
Fair.
Nothing. You know what I mean? And at this point, I don't think she has any more to lose. So why not say what you mean what you say, you know?
Yeah.
Again, Rachel Dolezal, you owe me a braiding. I want a discount on getting my hair braided for sticking up for your ass.
Hold on. One more quote. In reference to her husband, she said her first husband, who was a black man, was one of the people who tried to force her to fit into the, quote, white mold. She said he would make comments about how no white woman has that kind of butt. You need to get a respectable white butt.
I don't even know what that means. I don't even get it. That's funny though.
Yo,
get a respectable white ass woman. What's
I wonder
wrong
if he was a comedian, a stand-up comedian, because that sounds like a punchline for your ass. Oh.
You need a respectable white butt.
Need a respectable white butt.
In other words, stop eating grits. Put down the grits, woman.
Oh, God.
What are you trying to do here? I'm mad at you because you was white. If I wanted a black woman, I'd have got a black woman. That's what that shit meant.
He felt bamboozled.
I married you because you was white.
Oh. He went to
You go and get all this ass. Nah, if I wanted a round booty, I'd have found me a sister with a round booty. Go back to your flat white ass that I knew when I met you.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Well, while we're doing the follow-up journey here, we talked about Tessica Brown, Miss Gorilla Glue Girl. She is. Why did she get the buzzer?
Because I don't want to talk about her. Like, why? But I mean, we can follow up. But God, dog it, she's achieving what she wanted.
And you know what? I'm gonna support her hustle. I'm gonna support her hustle because she gonna need it. She's pregnant.
Yeah.
She's pregnant by her with her fiance, one Mr. DeWitt Madison. This will be their first child together. Tessica has 5 children. Her fiance has already 5. Her fiance has 4. Bringing the total number of children to 10. 10 babies. That's my The Count impression.
The Count, right? Yes. Oh boy.
So congratulations.
There's so much I would like to say. Yeah, congratulations. Nope.
Yeah, nope. Just
nope.
Moving on. Following up on.
Let's just okay. Wait, just real quick. Folks, if you're wondering what I'm saying, I'm going to help you read my mind. I'm going to give you some clues to read my mind. I won't say it. You can say it for me. This woman was so bright, she put Gorilla Glue in her hair and now is having another child. Okay. Decisions. I'm just saying. Just wonder what the decisions is going to be like. That's it.
There are some.
Feel free to fill in the blank.
There are some home child proofing jokes there. There's some little Timmy's eating the glue jokes there. We're gonna skip past all of them and just say congratulations.
Oh, look, little TT put Gorilla Glue on her lips, just like you, Tessica. Just like your mama.
Next on the follow-up tour,
that'll be the
one Mr. Tyrese. During the versus battle between Earth, Wind, and Fire and the Isley Brothers, which I would have loved to see. I didn't even know that one was happening. He posted.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
Quote, "Hate that my mother used to drink every day, but she's the reason I know real music."
He gets both for that. Because listen, what
Look.
Well,
I said it before. I think dude is a cry for help. I think, and a lot of people went into the comments and was like, yo, what's with your boy Tyrese? Let's do crowdsourcing to get him a therapist. You know, I think one lady said, Tyrese, that kid to be telling all the business on the playground or something like that. So
yeah,
I think it's a cry for help, dude. And I don't want to be right about this, but I think we are probably a few weeks away from a serious breakdown with that cat.
Like this?
I just want my baby.
Would it be something? Would it be something like that?
Oh God!
Look out for that.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Just checking. All right. Yeah. He's either seeking attention or has he always been seeking attention? And we just didn't notice because he was a a legitimate actor and artist putting out films and getting attention for his art. Now,
that's a very interesting question.
is that what it is?
Um,
Was he always seeking attention and we just didn't realize it? Or is it because he doesn't have these other, avenues out, he's resorting to there's no such thing as bad publicity?
You know what? I think that might be it. I think if you know the story, if you don't know the story of Tyrese, most people just know him at this point from Fast and Furious movies and that kind of thing. They don't even really know him by his music at this point, the younger folks. But Tyrese got put on from a what was it, a Sprite commercial or a Coke commercial?
Coca-Cola.
Where it was
Coca-Cola on the.
Yeah, it was a short Coke commercial. He's getting on the bus. He's walking back to the back of the bus. He's got on his headphones and he's singing and he does the Coke jingle and it's like a close-up of his face and women went nuts. He's handsome. He's chocolate. Right. He can sing. He got a record deal. His records blew up and I think he just got attention. But now we're in this new age and this was pre-social media, pre-boom of the internet. So people are getting the amount of attention that he got from hard work, grinding, doing movies, making albums by doing what we're doing right now. Just putting the camera on in front of us and talking, and they're getting the same level of attention that he's getting. So he's got to one-up that. I think he probably got addicted to that level of attention from his grind. It's not so easily accessible to him anymore, and he's one-upping, and I don't even think he knows he's doing it, though. I think it's just kind of happening.
Right. Yeah. Just put some music out, Tyrese. Just put some music out again.
Put out I Miss Her record.
Do it.
I Want Her Back record.
I mean, shit. What's his name? Robin Thicke did it.
We see how that shit worked out for him.
Yeah, it didn't pan out, but I'm saying he put his attention to the music. He kept it to the music. He wasn't putting up stupid posts. He did the music. And he took his shot with the music.
He didn't
pan out for his woman. She left.
He did the music and other bitches, and he took his shot with other bitches, which is why he had to do the music.
Exactly. He had to do the music, and his wife's like, "Nah, I'm good." It was Paula Patton, right?
Yeah.
Why do I get Paula Patton and Thandie Newton mixed up?
I don't know.
I get them mixed up for some reason. Sorry. In any case, you don't hear about Robin Thicke. He did his music and he's like, "Oh, it didn't work out? All right, cool. What's your name? Come with me."
And then he tried to do that record with T.I. With the Marvin Gaye rip.
That was after the fact. Oh, yeah. Marvin Gaye people don't play.
No, and I think black folks
not
kind of low-key canceled him. It was like, yeah, we ain't really fucking with you no more. They just kind of hit him with that elbow and moved on.
Well, see, it's not really his fault. He wasn't the producer.
Pharrell produced that record.
He should have, yeah. And all the weight of it went on Robin Thicke because it was his record. But they threw each other under the bus. It wasn't my idea.
It was like,
I didn't do it.
Well, speaking of that record, T.I. was on that record. He brought heat to that record. And now him and his wife, they still getting the heat. So continuing the catch-up train. Let's see. 3 more women have come out to say that T.I. and Tiny drugged them, raped them, sex trafficked them.
Wow. This episode of Law and Order sucks.
As of right now, they're still, all of the accusers are anonymous. They cannot face their accusers. Hopefully, well, not hopefully. If it goes to court, then they'll have to, right? Those accusers will have to step up.
Right.
T.I. and Tiny continue to deny.
This very well may just be this very well may be a smear campaign if it's not authenticated in court and all that good stuff. Which, that sort of thing works because you'll never know the truth. You'll never know what really took place, what happened if they don't take it to court. And it doesn't seem like it's going to court. I think it's doing what it's intended to do, which is to wreak havoc on their financials. T.I. got dropped from the third Ant-Man movie. Well, at least that's how I read it. He's not going to be doing the third Ant-Man movie as a result of all of this. That's Disney. Disney's like, hey, bro.
Disney's like, nope.
You got a lot going on, man. We can't have that attached to Marvel. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, and whatever else, other things that, he has going on that may go, hey, we don't like the attention, So, unless it goes to court and they're able to clear their name, it's still going to wreak havoc on their the
ability to earn.
Yeah, there you go.
So lawyers are involved.
Okay.
T.I. and his wife, he and Tiny have a lawyer, and then it's a lawyer that's kind of representing the group. It has been rumored that T.I. and Tiny's lawyer tried to settle, and the other lawyer was essentially like, go fuck yourself. Which says to me he has a case, which says to me that there is likely some truth to the allegations, but that doesn't mean the allegation is true. Meaning, they may have done drugs with some woman that they were with together, but they may not have coerced that person into doing drugs. You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
I think I said before when we talked about this story, I'll say it now. I think it's terrifying that someone can just go out on the interwebs and say this person did this and this person did that, and it's treated as fact.
Right.
As long as it stays anonymous and allegations on the interwebs, I cannot bring that to a level of factual evidence that we should be dealing with, right?
Yeah.
But, people are saying it's at this point it's worth investigating at the very least.
Yeah. Again, it's terrible for all parties involved.
For sure.
Because if it's actually factual, the victims have to relive what happened to them.
Yes.
If it's not factual, if it's just allegations and, somebody, you did a three-way and now, you got buyer's remorse. Now you're tearing down someone's reputation. You know what I mean? And thirdly, like I said, we'll never know what actually happened. Only the people involved will.
Yep. So,
let's see what happens.
All right.
We're gonna wrap in a second. And a lot of we've been off for 2 weeks, so there's a lot more to cover. We'll talk about in the after show. But I do want to plug this one quick little note because I don't want to spend too much time on it because I don't want to feel like I'm beating up on a legend. But Cher, about a week ago, came out and made some remarks. Something to the effect of about the George Floyd case. Something to the effect of if she was there, she could have stopped it. And people like, excuse me? Cher, what the hell are you? And she came back and apologized. First, she doubled down on her remarks saying, I wrestled with this because I thought some people wouldn't understand or believe that entertainer could have honest emotions about a human being suffering and dying, even if it's only shown on TV. You don't know what I've done, who I am, or what I believe. I have, and I will help. Like, all right. And then it makes sense. She has a friend named Karen. She put a different perspective.
You know you in a dark place when you're going to Karen for advice on racist shit you might have said.
Right. But it makes sense that it's Cher. She says, quote, I just got off the phone with a friend, Karen, told her what happened and realized you can piss people off and hurt them by not knowing everything that's not appropriate to say. I know people apologize when they're in the jam, but to God, I'm truly sorry if I upset anyone in the Black community. I know my heart. Good, you apologize. You okay? Yeah, but she was doing way too much. Oh, if I was there, I could have. Can you? No, I won't even paint the picture of Cher showing up at a police stop. It's ridiculous that she would even been around for something like that. But you can't help. You can help. You can use your privilege and your power and your resources. Were applicable. Saying stupid stuff like that does not help. I could have helped. I could have stopped it.
So
how does that benefit anybody?
So here's the thing. I think what she said was fucking stupid. And I think when she, let me restate that. I think what she said was ill thought.
Insensitive.
Yes. And
stupid. And stupid. And we can keep stupid on the table.
And then doubling down on it again, ill thought, insensitive, shouldn't have done it. But I think you're going to see more of this than less of this as the days, weeks, and months progress. Because of the notion, use your privilege to help. What it's causing people to do is insert themselves into situations where they don't know shit about it. Like, she know how to make a song and do a stage show in Vegas. That's what she knows, right? That's her area of expertise. So when she goes to do what, I'm gonna help, she winds up fucking it up, right? Like, which, God bless her, whatever. But I think we're gonna see a lot more of this before we don't see it anymore. With people having an elevated sense of self and jumping into the fray without doing their level of due diligence and research to figure out the best way to go about it, the right things to say, and the best way to help. Because sometimes the best way to help is to not say nothing at all, right? Just look at that situation and go, nope, don't know nothing about that.
I wouldn't have been as tight about it if she had just dedicated a song to George Floyd and his family, and she has an appropriate song. If I could turn back time, that's her, right?
Yeah.
She should have just sang that.
Look. And
dedicated to the family. They were like, okay, I get it.
I'm sorry that this tragedy happened. Sorry that it's dragging through court. I don't know all the facts and I'm not a lawyer, but I do know that some injustice exists. I want to dedicate the proceeds to One Night in My Vegas show, to the NAACP, the Innocence Project, organizations that are set up to help right the injustice. Done. Move on. Right?
Right. And Floyd's daughter for a college fund or something like that.
Right.
Boom. Not, hey, if I was there, I could have stopped it. You don't shut the hell up. Oh, Cher booty. All right, folks.
She has a respectable white woman's booty.
She has a very respectable white woman's. She's like 70 now, right? A 70-year-old white woman's ass. Like, she's phenomenal.
Okay.
Just straight up and down, like it was designed to be. Dolezal's ex-husband would have approved. Hey, listen. We appreciate you watching, appreciate you listening. If you want to hear more content, make sure you make your way over to our website, unpopinshow.com. That's where you could find the after show, where we continue discussion on some more topics. And follow us on all socials. All the bugs are there. Unpopin Show on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and even TikTok. I put a video up on TikTok at Unpopin Show. I don't know if it's going to work out. I'm just going to let you know now. I don't know if it's going to work out. We're going to keep putting that up. And if I might also plug my son, my 4-year-old, has another record out.
Oh, I haven't heard this one yet.
And you ever heard this one?
Mm-mm.
Oh boy. Let's see. Let's see if I can find it. So he goes by Tahir the Prince. And it's a song called Proceed. And let me see if I can play a little bit of it. This is my 4-year-old.
What? Yeah.
I want you to leave me with this.
Whoa! This might make your mom dance. This might make your dad dance. This might make your brother dance. Your body's now in the trance. ¿Cómo está mi amigo? Vamos ahora, mi amigo. Mientes, hola, de blah. Hola a todos, shake it, please don't break it. It took mommy 9 months to make it. That's something I heard my dad say. He also taught me the lesson of the day. I shall proceed. Move on. Yo. You shall proceed. Move on.
We shall see you next time.
Shall proceed. Move on. Yeah. Move on. Move on. Hey. Make your feet work. Let me see your foot work. Hey. Make your feet work. Let me see your foot work. Hey. Make your feet work. Let me see your foot work.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Look, tell Ty here to give us permission to use it on YouTube so we don't get a strike.
Right. Hold on.
Hey, thanks for watching the Unpopular Opinion Show right here on YouTube. Appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed what you watched, be sure to subscribe, like, and hit that notification button.
Yeah, hit it. You haven't hit it yet.
You ain't hit it yet. What do you? Yeah, come on, now,
Just hit
people.
it. Okay, the like button too. I mean, you got to.
Yes, got it. All right, cool. Thank you. Appreciate you.